We are live. We are live. Okay. All right. We are live. Yes, yes. Come on in, ladies. Let me be sure that I see you guys, dear. Oh my God. What a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday morning, April night. Hey, my God, I love it today. I love it today. So, ladies, come on in, come on in. We are live. We are live. And it's always a pleasure to know that you guys are here. So I'm just going to tag everyone and say everyone, which I know, thanks to Facebook, is going to tell you guys that we are on. That's what I normally do, the everyone. So we are back on the second day of the summit. And in the studio today, we have our coach, Mia. I would call her, she's one of my best friends I've met on my journey in the last, let's say, 4 months. and Mia right now is in Canada, but she's gonna tell you all about that. But I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Mia as I wait for some of you to join us before she actually take it off today and give us all that she's here, the Lord has placed in her heart to give us. You know, Mia is a dedicated mom. I love that part. And driven employee, yes, and passionate entrepreneur, committed to supporting women as they embark on their business journey. But Mia's true calling lies in her passion for healing hearts and empowering individuals to realize their full potential. So I just wanted you to kind of like get a little bit about who we have in our studio today. And you can realize the word passionate. I love when I see the word passionate because everything we build on passion to me lasts longer because you don't plan to quit. It's like I'm building a passionate business that I've already, if it was being in the island, I've already destroyed the boat. I cannot go back no matter what happened. I'm already here. So, and Mia have that heart of service that she's here today to just pour into every one of us that are going to be on this call to the glory of God. And with that, on this first day, on this second day, and the first speaker for the day, that's what I want to say. I just want to let our coach Mia today tell you guys who she is, you know, how she ended, how she learned it, her story, and everything as the Lord has placed it in her heart to give us today. So, Coach Mia, take it away.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that, Reverend Joy, and thank you for putting this summit together to allow us a space to nurture ourselves and grow together under God's kingdom. I just want to open with a prayer, one that's been sort of swimming through since yesterday afternoon. So let's see what the Lord has for us today. Dear Father in heaven, Lord of all lords, King of all kings, we thank you for the technology, for the ability, for the leadership of Reverend Joy, and for all the women felt called to come here under your guidance for connection, for discussion, and for finding deeper meaning, deeper purpose and service in your honor. You lead us. It is your will, not ours. The words that come through, the insights that we feel you have planned long ago for us, you know about this moment, and you've equipped us, whether we feel ready or not, you've equipped us to be here and to be right on time and to say what is to be said, to unify us, to bring us together, and to comfort us and remind us through your love and through your vision of the work that we're here to do in your kingdom. You give us the power to set aside our egos, to set aside our insecurities, and to just be the person that you designed us to be. And in handing these things over to you, everything is easier, everything is possible, because we're not working from our own flesh. We're not working from our own effort. We're working through the power of the Holy Spirit as guided by you for each single one of us, where each single one of us is important and matters in order to do the work that you have sent us all here to do. Thank you for that, Lord. Thank you for that power, one that I can't even understand, and I don't care to understand. I just know it, and I know that it's know, and I feel it in my heart, and I trust you, and I follow your lead. In Jesus'
Yeah.
name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Amen. Hallelujah.
So, you guys, I I'm a humble servant of the Lord. I am a woman of Christ. I'm getting baptized on Sunday, April 14th,
Mm.
Pacific Standard
Amen.
Time. So send out the prayers.
Hallelujah.
Be with me in
Hallelujah.
spirit on that day. I'm 42 and it's been a long time coming. And I'm so excited. It's going to be a full water immersion. So very,
Mm.
very special, very anointed and humble to you have an opportunity to share part of my heart with you and to share part of my story with you, to inspire and encourage you. So let me just say, you guys, that I am nobody special. I'm not some grand, Oprah Winfrey legacy. I'm not some mega millionaire self-made entrepreneur. P.S. We're never self-made, we're made through God. But I am just a tender-hearted, beautiful, loving woman with a great skill set delivered by God to help others with my gifts. And I'm not
Yes.
for everybody, but for those that
Yes.
I'm for, it is a perfect match. And I
Yes.
say this because I want us to be reminded that pushing or that comparing or that greater desire isn't necessarily our desire, but maybe it's one that's influenced or pressured on by what we're seeing online. Growing an online business is not an easy task and takes a lot of personal clarity and a lot of asking for Lord to guide you in His will versus you trying to figure it out. And I know that because I've been living through it, especially in the last few months, where as I grow closer, things get revealed and hit a little bit deeper, and mean something a little bit bigger than I would have thought even a few weeks or a few days ago. So if you're a new female business owner, which is really where I thrive and live and love to serve, starting out can be very overwhelming and can be very like big with a lot of choices, right? So when we're women, we're already decision makers in the house, in the workplace, in the kingdom of motherhood, and in our marriages, in our relationships, in all these different places. Then we bring in business on top of that because we're looking to serve for our spirit in His honor. It's a lot to carry. It's a big load to put on your shoulders. And I find that we tend to start to define our worthiness through the size of our business, that we start to question whether or not we're in aligned purpose, whether or not we're doing right work, because our business may not be like the woman next door. Your job isn't to be the woman next door. Your job is to be the woman that God made you to be. And not everybody is going to be an Oprah. Not everybody is going to be a Princess Diana or pick somebody famous whose name could be recognized globally, not just in North America. We're here to do the work that we're here to do, and it's important to show up in that mission. When we show up in that mission, we can let the pressure, the expectation of self, the competition with others to fall away. And we can just look at who we are and what our pure service is to be. And when we can show up in this way, we're so much more free to explore what's available to us and what is easy for us. Because the gifts that we have and the gifts that we must share as our purpose in this world and as our role to others, those things come easily and they're already planted, and they were planted in you when you were created in the womb. So let that sink in and let that remove things that are cluttering up your mind and cluttering up your heart and your spirit and detracting you and leading you away from what it is that you're actually meant to do. Because the thing is, when you had that business idea, when you had that service call, that came before all this other noise. That was already there. And the voice just got a little bit louder because that was God's nudge of, it's time. It's time. He knows. You just have to trust him. And the hardest part is overcoming your flesh as you go through this real spiritual journey, as you really allow your heart to expand and do what it's meant to do, which you don't have to figure out. What you have to do is the opposite. You have to go back and turn off noise and turn off distractions and fallacies around what is already there. It's, I love analogies, and without being rude or condescending, we might say clutter, physical clutter is an example of what happens to us in life as we were born pure and divine and untainted. And we exit the womb, and now all of a sudden we're in the two-dimensional world of the flesh where we have good and evil, and we start to collect them. And as children, usually we stay on the very beautiful, good side, but evil comes, and it comes in a variety of ways. And I mean, my incredibly tender-hearted 5-year-old is already showing signs of insecurity and of judgment from others at age 5. She's not even wiping her own bum yet, you guys. This is coming up. It's real. It's real what we collect. But of course, we evolve away from that and we forget how we once were. And if you're not around children, it might be harder to remember how beautiful and pure we were. So we collect these things, and it becomes easier to fall into the lies and the evil. This God has been telling me this for days, so let's see if I can get it out and do it justice, where it's easier to be evil than it is to be good. Because to be evil, and I don't mean like horrendous, I just mean leaning more into Satan's lies and finding counterfeit that way, and um, moving away from yourself because he's trying to lure us away, right? It's easier to be evil in the sense that it's lazy, it's complacent, there's no accountability. We can play a victim role. We can say, oh, well, that client said no. Oh, my social media account, I got locked out. Oh, I tried, but it didn't work. It's easy to give up. It's easy to not fight for who we really are. It's easy to not slow down and give ourselves time to grow our inner strength in order to overcome those evils, those lies. To be good, to be good would be to be like Jesus in our own possible way, who endured 40 days and 40 nights in the desert against the devil, who endured 3 days, and I broke down the math. Jesus, who endured 3 days, think about this, 72 hours, 4,320 minutes, and 259,200 seconds. That is a long time on the cross. Imagine 3 days. What is 3 days? Up here for me in Canada with my job, over Easter, I had 5 days off, right? 5 beautiful days. 3 days for me usually means a Friday off because my work, we get Fridays off every other week, and the weekend. So I'm spending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday trapped, unable to move, can't scratch, can't eat, can't barely like go to push the hair out of my face. I'm in discomfort. My hands are numb. I want to move them, but moving is pain, but staying still is pain. That is being good. And that sounds awful. And praise Jesus for being the one who was sent to do that because he was good. He was right to serve us in that way. We don't have to endure that level of it, but my point is to really articulate that being good is harder. Being good is work. Being good is, for example, if you are training for the Olympics, being good and choosing the love and the light over the evil, training for the Olympics means a very micromanaged diet, means a very strict regime of sleep, of nutrients, of water, and of training, of physical training, of endurance, of repetition, of creating muscle memory, and of removing decisions so that you are just prepared to execute precisely on those moves. That is work. That doesn't sound fun, but the reward of that, the power of being led by Holy Spirit so that it's not up to you is priceless, is why I can show up today and share these messages knowing that I'm equipped just as I am, who is an everyday woman. I am an everyday woman, you guys. We're all special. We're all children of God. I am not in comparison to how special I am against anyone else. I am here in my form, in my heart, in my design to share just this everyday message of showing up to do the work that you're meant to do and to just try a little bit and to think of these extreme examples to shift your perspective. Because if Jesus can be stuck, imagine just even do it for 10 minutes in an uncomfortable position. If he can do that for over 250,000 seconds, breaths, thoughts, can't we just do the one little thing that's right in front of us next? It's not great big moves. It's not creating a kingdom in the wink of an eye. It's moving forward in one step at a time, closer and closer to alignment, closer and closer to handing over to God's will and releasing yours and letting Him guide you and feeling safe in that. Taking that leap of faith, of letting go, of opening up, and of knowing that it's not on you. It's not on you, and you don't have to carry that burden. You can put it down. And I speak this from the depths of who I am because that is my everyday transformational story was growing up. I had a very loving home. I still have a loving home. I have wonderful parents and two older brothers, and we are a very nice family. And we get along well, and we have good relationships, and we've never really been nasty to each other than your typical siblings, right? But it was all very lovely and pure. I developed a wound of not enoughness at some point when I was a child. And I held on to that like a life raft until probably just a few years ago. And so I sought out my worth through people pleasing. I sought out my worth through bad decisions at the time, which included sinning in sex and alcohol and other things that I don't even recognize that woman now. It's wild to me, but she played such an important part of my story so that these things could be revealed. This is like I'm saying the lies and the tricks come in and you have to remove that. And I can see clear as I can see Reverend Joy in front of me on the screen that those were ways to pull me away from who I am because who I am is so beautiful and so heart-centered and so loving. Like I don't understand the capacity of love that I have because it's not mine. It's supernatural. It's God's, and He uses it through me. He's chosen me. I don't question why. I bow down to Him and thank Him now and lean into that and say, show me how to serve in this, Lord, because I've lived without that love and I've lived without that self-acceptance and without knowing his plan for me. So in this journey, nothing remarkable, life-changing, thank God, literally, has happened to redefine me other than I started to get more curious about who I really am and wanted to it's like going back in time, right? To remove the things we collect, the stickiness of life, I like to say, the things that we collect over time, and setting them aside. And this is where his voice would get stronger and stronger, and where he called me home nearly a year ago, um, and and there was such conviction that time that it couldn't be ignored. And so, in this everyday journey, the biggest insight was that I'm already worthy, that I am a child of God and I am already worthy and I don't need to seek it anywhere. It's in my heart and I seek him through my heart to feel it. And you anchor into that and it never ends. We will be challenged. We will always be fighting against the forces of the flesh and the spirit and the devil. And the closer we get, he wants to pull us away. We've read the teachings, we do our Bible studies, we see these things, but it's a different experience to live in that and to take it from the book or the app and to put it in you and actually think about what that means. And this has been the release of me. So, seeking worthiness externally led to, of course, being a people pleaser, led, of course, to control, right? The fallacy of control and of trying to be perfect. And in my business, it was an incredible space for me to really discover who I am. And a tagline I love to use is your business is the playground for your spirit. Business is the playground for your soul. So you use this the way an Olympian trains in a gym, you use your business to reveal who you are. And there will be tests and there will be difficulties and challenges. But what you want to do is peek through those and read between the lines of those to see what it's pushing on inside of you and remove that. So, in my online business, when I started, I was basically an executive assistant for a friend who was starting a business. And I'm very, very good at organizing and I'm very, very good at encouraging. And so, administration and encouragement being my gifts, and beautifully matched to a budding CEO. But in that, I bled myself dry and I overgave without filling my cup because I was trying to seek my worthiness. And uh, I mean, I remember making posts online of like these badges of honor of, well, if you don't have a baby in your lap, are you really working? Ha ha ha, like the mom from home dream life, right? But now I laugh and I mean it's sweet and it's all part of the story, so there's no judgment here. But if you are a new mom and you're thinking of starting a business, there's no more precious time than when that baby is a baby. And they will never need you as much as they do when they're a baby because you are their life source. You are their God. They're not idolizing you, but you are their safety. You are the love that He gives us, that unconditional reliability. And they will never be as vulnerable again, and they will never need that security as much as they do in that first year to 2 years of life. My daughter and I are extremely bonded, sometimes too much, ha ha. But the point is, don't give of yourself to the point where there's nothing left for you and where you're losing the things that actually matter. So when I started, I was beyond excited, beyond activated, beyond feeling seen and found while chasing the worthiness in serving. And so it was almost like being at Disneyland, say you're what, 12 years old at Disneyland by yourself, and you can do whatever. You have all the fast pass and everything, and you can just gangbusters go bananas all day. And you do, but then you're spent and you fall over and you can't move. And and then you haven't shared the experience with anybody. And so without anything dramatic happening, no big health issues, anything like that, just deeper listening and awakening of intuition, which led me home to the Lord. I started to see what was happening and the things that I was losing along the way. And so if you are new in business or if you are established and you're looking around going, what happened? You've lost sight of the big picture, right? You've lost sight of what your business is as part of the rest of your life, not as your whole life. And this is where Reverend Joy is bringing us together to talk about, I'm going to phrase it this way, lead her ship. So leadership, but with the her in the middle, where we're leading her, and then ship is the ship of life. And we are now looking to unify these pieces without getting lost in any of them so that we build our life together, right? We're not going to put our business in front of us. We're not going to say, this is God's mission for me. And so I am going to go all in, and my kids will watch TV and eat ice cream, and I'll catch up with my husband after I've made my first $10,000 day or $500,000 a year. No, you want these things to grow together. So you don't need to chase your worthiness. You don't need to find it out there. And again, what happened with me was, my husband started making noise, if you will, around like, dude, where are you? I never see you anymore. You're always in the office, which, yeah, it's my happy place, but so would be like, eating popcorn or bacon all day, and it's not good for me, right? So this is the balancing. So hearing this and then just letting myself fall more in love with my sweet little girl and wanting to be more present with her and wanting to feel more free with her because I'd be with her and I'd have my phone and I'd think I was doing something good. I thought it was meaningful to be like momming on this arm and businessing on this arm. And that was a fallacy. That was a deceit that I was buying into. Partly I thought the internet was telling me that, and partly I thought it felt good, but it wasn't the real good. What feels really good now is I show up for business and I'm all in focus, and then I'm done. And then I go and I'm with my family. And I've even gotten to the point where I leave my phone away from me because it will suck me in. I will allow myself to get sucked in. So and that opens up spaciousness. And do you know what happens when you open up spaciousness? Holy Spirit's like, and comes in and charges you up and fills you up energetically and fills you up creatively and can connect your energy to others so that we can come together and find each other like Reverend Joy and I did, and to put something together like this. So somewhere along the way in this unbecoming, the Lord delivered a message to create this business, Powerful Inc. And so it was just my name before Mia Frankel, and I was an online business manager, which is a very busy job when you have young children, when you want a healthy marriage, when you still want to have friends, and when you're working a full-time job. So online business manager is being like the vice president to the CEO, and you're in all the weeds with them managing the whole thing. And it was very constricting. And so anytime that we start to get constricted and start to feel in, we're closing things off, right? Look, closing things off. When we relax and open, we can hold so much more. So Powerful Ink landed as a name, and that caught my attention. I heard it, and it completely redesigned how I did the business. And in doing so, and God's laughing at me right now because I didn't know him as well as I do now or will in the future still, but it gave me permission to turn the tables on how I did things so that I could put my life ahead of the business and recalibrate and bring my family back together and bring myself back together and have fun. and then serve more from the gifts that are natural and easy and flowy, and create a schedule around my existing schedule so that I wasn't constantly feeling stressed or staying up till midnight to try and finish the day's work. That honestly, in a business, by 11 p.m., what was relevant at 8 a.m. has kind of moved on, unless it's part of a bigger project. Is always feeling behind. And so now, you guys, now through all of this letting go, I enjoy my family. We have meals together. When I'm cooking, I'm cooking. When my daughter's coloring and cutting, I'm right there. She's sitting on my lap. We're enjoying each other. She knows I'm in this summit this morning. She knows I'm speaking, but she's sleeping. She's at 6 a.m. for me, 6:30 now. She's sleeping. So we're woven in together. And I can now lead my business for myself and still in great service of others because I'm showing up more aligned, and I'm, creating digital courses and creating community, which is where my truest strength really is, bringing women together, showing them their gifts, lifting them up. Doing that lifts me up. And then it's just this beautiful circular benefit for all of us. So the the crazy thing in all of this is, having done that shift, I am busier than ever, but I am holding it more beautifully than I ever have, right? I run a podcast, I run Facebook groups, I run promotions, I guest on podcasts, I create communities, I connect women, the online program stuff, the blog, like there's so much going on in there. But I have the glow of life, of vitality, and I feel amazing, right? And that's because it's not me. That's because I'm working in God's kingdom, and I'm working with Holy Spirit, and I'm letting them lead me and do the work, because it would be impossible otherwise. So, if we're to do this, then we must, my encouragement and my recommendation, because you have to figure it out for yourself. You have to make your own mistakes. You have to talk to God about it, and you have to listen to his response. So if you're going to talk to God, give it time for him to answer, because he will know when you will actually hear him. He might not answer you right away, and you might be annoyed by that, but he's laughing at you lovingly because he's like, dude, if I tell you right now, you're not going to hear it. So I will tell you, it's already designed, and that's when you will hear it. If I had heard so much of what's come through in the last year when I was 20, when I was lost in the desert, it would not have landed the same. He has been grooming me as he is grooming you, because he knows when your outcome or when your rewards are coming. So let me just come to this beautiful part where I prepared yesterday for us, that when you hand over your will to the Lord, your strength, your message, your purpose, you give that over. You let him use you as the link in the chain that he's made you. Again, I'm not somebody special. I'm no different than you, but I'm a great woman of God, and so are you. And when we put ourselves through that lens and hand over to his will, he lets us shine like the brilliant diamond that he's made us to be. We don't know when the reward is coming. He does. And is it worth it? Is it worth it to work in his timing versus trying to force ours? I think it is. I think it is. He's given us the vision, but it's his timeline, and he's grooming us. Would I have been able to deliver this a week, 6 months, 3 years ago? No, I'm covered in goosebumps while sweating. It's a beautiful expression of showing up to do the work when he says. This is where we lean into being obedient. This is where we relax as leader women, as mobilizers, as future changers. This is where we relax, is that we're all chosen. We all have a role. big and small, they are all necessary. So don't put the pressure on yourself to compete or push or effort. Put the pressure on yourself to let go, to open up, to let him come and fill you and guide you and do the things. And don't worry about the outcome, because if he's led you to it, he will lead you through it. You know this. You know this. Okay. And then today I feel like we're both in the U version Bible app, because the Ezekiel 36:26 today of giving us a new heart and filling us with a new spirit. This, let that be your takeaway. This is what that looks like. We hear about people talking about it, we read about it. Put it to yourself. The reason those messages are showing up is because he will bombard you with them until you actually absorb them and let them build within you. And then beautiful things happen nearly effortlessly. You know, again, you don't get to the Olympics without working out, right? You got to do the work. But when you're powered with Holy Spirit, it's easy. It's easier. And it's so enjoyable. And like, I've been able to put down so much and come back to who I really am, which is a cleansing back to, you know, how pure we were when we were made in the womb, when we had everything we needed, but we came out and just had to go on that journey of figuring out. So remember that beginning of your story and try to open up space for more of that to come in, because everything else is just, you know, that stickiness and that distraction of what already is within you.
That's an outpour. Ooh, that's an outpour. That's an outpour. I love it. I love it. I remember on Sunday, today is Tuesday, I was there at the altar and I fell into this trance. And in this trance, I saw myself on my stove cooking with a small pot. And for no reason, the pot kind of like did this outflow that the whole entire liquid that was in that pot poured all over my kitchen. I was like, how would this small pot bring forth so
That
much,
much.
that much out of it? So when I wake up from that trance, you know, it was like the Holy Ghost telling me there's going to be an outpour this season. There's going to be an outpour. I was like, because there's no other way to interpret what that was, because the pot was my smallest pot. I actually used that pot to do some one-person oath, right? That's all I used that pot to do. And for that thing to have so much liquid overflow my kitchen, I was like, Lord, there's nothing else you're saying than saying there's going to be an outpour this season. I hear you and I receive. And I'm telling you, I know there's few of our ladies here because sometimes it's still early. We catch them later in the day, but they're going to watch it later. But I'm telling you that this something that, you know, I even wrote it. I'm going to do a video and actually tell people the consequences of what you just told here today, and the what I call the enjoyment I have going on now and the joy I have. And what is that? In a little way, just to, you know, tell you that you just bless me. And I know you, it's not only me, I know every woman that everything you say resonate with, they're really gonna be blessed. So now in my former time before I joined the online space, I realized there was this disconnection between me and my son, big time. Big time. From the time he was born, you know, I had to run all over every day to my store because I deal with beauty supply in the island those days. And even when I left the island, I went to the US Virgin Island again. I actually left him with a friend, worker, deaconess, she was just everything, which is her godmother. And I realized that when he came around with us, we still have that, you know, I'm not close. I'm just that seller. You know, I love to sell. I don't care how long it take me. I come home, I'm tired. But because of moving to the state side, I happened to have a lot of business failure here, and my husband got sick. And all our businesses in the island I normally run to, the doctors commanded me, I can't do them no more because he need my attention. So to cut the matter short, because you just bless me and I want somebody that is hearing this really know that this message is something that we should pay attention to. And I really know the consequences and the blessing when you do it. How do you doing it now? So because of that, the Holy Ghost, if you ask me, did all this in my life and what I call bench me. I was at the altar on Saturday, and the only thing I heard is, your father benched you. And there's a reason why he benched you. He benched you to find your purpose. He benched you to do exactly what he called you to do. And I remember the story that happened in my life. I'm going to go back to my son relationship. Every mom watching me, I don't know why I'm being emotional. But I remember that Saturday at the altar praying, the Lord said, remember, when I was in high school, I used to be a soccer player. And trying to finish my high school in 1996, we had a tournament that was going to play in the whole entire state where I was, because that's Nigeria. So we were playing from school to school. And at the process of playing from school to school, I was the goal giver. I'm the one that gives the goal. So no matter how you do it, we just know we're going to win. I believe it's a grace. It's not anything that I'm special or I even know what. I always ask God, I say, how did that happen? But it's a grace, it's a favor that I had. So second to the last race, that's what the Holy Ghost was telling me on Saturdays. I want to bring you to a story that you've experienced physically, that I did to you spiritually lately, which you did not see. Second to the last game, this team came in very big. I was very tiny in those days. I was very, very tiny, like my last baby. And this team came in and they were after me to break my foot because they know if there's any way they're going to break this foot, our team is going to lose and they're going to go for the championship. And when my coach, after the second half, realized that that was their plan, my coach said, no, we've already given enough for us to be ahead. Go and I'm going to bench you. You see this game, you're playing again. We're already going to win them. We're already going to go for the finals, and I want us to go to finals. So go. The coach in himself decided to bench me. They are not going to bench you by, doing what they plan to do. I am going to bench you. And when he did it, I felt like, why would you do that? What if they decide to, do something and win us? But while I was sitting down there, I saw wisdom in it. And I like, okay, whatever. And I sat there, and for truth, we won that game. And we went to that finals and we brought the cup back to our school. It was a boarding school I was living. So on Saturday, the Holy Ghost said, if you remember that incident, that's exactly what I did to you in the last few years. Because I realized that if I don't bench you, your children are going to suffer. If I don't bench you, your ministry will suffer. If I don't bench you, you will think that you're only here to buy and sell this year that you sold for so many years in your life, which is not really what I have you here for. And why am I telling this afternoon? From the time I made that shift, last night, this God is something, and he's a divine God. I don't know who you serve, but I'm telling you, Jesus is the way. And I'm not even going to apologize to that, because there's just a God that is there. It might not be the Jesus you're calling, but I'm telling you, there's a God that is there we have to pay attention to. Last night, I put my children to go to bed. And when I came back, I catch them and their brother discussing. And I was like, why are you still talking? Supposed to go to bed school today? They say, we're just here, mommy, just appreciating God, for your life and the life of daddy. You guys are just so awesome. You guys are here for us. You guys come to school for us. You guys just, pay attention for the things that concerns us. I was like, God, what are you doing? And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I know that before God benched me, it wasn't my will. I was so depressed in 2020. I was so depressed in 2021. 2022 was even the peak. I said, God, why will you shut everything I've worked for? What are you doing? What can you do? What are you doing? Why would you let the enemy? But in 2023, which is what led to all this we're doing today, woman of God listening to me, I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to make you feel like that. As my coach has been saying the whole morning, we are not the operas of your life, but God is placing us. There's something she said. She said, God is placing me to be in between of bringing these coaches to lead my ship. I love the way she put it. She said, God is placing me in in the middle to connect these great speakers and this great wisdom and knowledge so that you don't make the mistake that we must have made in the past that have serious circumstances. I had no relationship with my son. He was that person that I just even before that, I'm like, Mom, why do you always want to beat me? You know, when you're frustrated, you want to lash on me, you want to do this. But from the time I came home and the Lord began to deal with me and began to now, even 2023, now began to tell me whether you want it or not, this is for a reason. People are there waiting to hear you. They're there waiting to, their purpose to be bought, and you're here playing buy and selling. No, this is not the only reason why you're here. I don't mean you shouldn't, but I want you to pay attention to the little ones I've already given you. We're supposed to be part of the business that you're doing right now so that you can have a complete business. And it took all those crises for that testimony last night. I watched them and said, thank you guys. So you feel like they say, yes, mommy, you have not missed nothing for so many years now. You just been here. And as the Lord did it, it was when they were coming out of that not having sense to having sense, because my son is 12 going 13 and my first daughter is 11. So for the last 6 years, I'm telling you, God used every shift he can make, every part of that shift. And I don't want anybody watching me to allow God do it to you. Because let me tell you something, it took the joy in me to stand the force of that bench.
Yeah.
Come on. It took the joy, excitement. It took me being me that never had any dull moment to kind of like from time to time, Lord, hey, it's me. Why am I so angry? Why am I so big? What? No, Joy, come back. You can't go far. But imagine if you do not have joy already and God begin to decide to bench you and now begin to teach you the other way that you're not even. Some people take their life in the process because I lost everything. I lost everything. And that is what we're telling you. Walk your life, your business around your purpose. And look at how the story ended. I'm here reading the name, CEO of Powerful. I don't even know how to call it. Powerful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, like this is the inside of us given to the outside that have to wait till we find ourselves. And when we find it, we are more powerful than ever. We are more, I'm telling you, I've never had a best life like I've had in the last 4 months right now doing this. Like I wake up excited for no reason. There's not even a money attached to it like that. Like say, I just wake up like, I know you got this, God. I know you're doing this. I know I am in the right place at the right time and I'm not giving up. I'm not changing my mind. I'm going to walk on. You made it clearer that this is what you did and we are doing this. And I'm telling you, Coach Mayor, with all that I said, I want to just say thank you for being obedient with that word. Like you just made everything sound like, thank you, Lord. I told them 2 days ago, I said from time to time, these days I wake up and I say, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I'm just in that peak state that I won't let nothing steal what God is doing right now.
Right.
And even in the life of everyone watching, do not let nothing steal your purpose. Do not let nothing steal your vision, your dream, the joy. Even the book I read this morning, I've been showing them this book, just got me crazy. He said that when you walk from the place of what you love, you give the best to your generation.
Yes.
Come on, what do you like? What do you love? Let's walk around it. So with that, I just want to say, Coach, I know a lot of them will be asking, how can I maybe walk with you, know you better, follow you? Please go ahead, tell us everything, how they can follow you. And I don't know if you have a free gift today for the audience. You can tell them to what you have. If you do, if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I can certainly come up with one. The best would be to just join my email list. Just join my email list. I'll post the link and then just stay in my space because I communicate that way. I make offers that way. And it will help us get to know each other, right? I am not looking for necessarily quantity, but quality of women to come together and do what we're meant to do together, not alone. Joy, you froze on me. beautifully. So let's just wait for her to come back here. So in this space is creating together. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, but we don't have to be a weak link. We're here to support one another and bring it together. So another big part of my messaging under the powerful ink is that we're not solopreneurs, we're collaborapreneurs. And as startups, as established business owners, we can come together and support one another in figuring out the tech, in figuring out the next step, in figuring out connection, in being shared around so that we can find the people that we need to find, because when you come into my space, I want to actually know who you are. I don't want, endless, nameless followers or people on the list. I'm here to genuinely engage with you and help us build and serve in the kingdom the way that we're meant to, not as individuals, but as a collective. So that's a big part of it. So joining the email list, will start that. Following me on Facebook, everything is tagged at Powerful Inc. Friend me from inside the summit group here. And if you're on the email list, that is really my main source of communication for everything. If you're looking for podcast opportunity, I've got a show. I'd be, super interested to see about a conversation there. And also, the other big part that I do as a community builder is connect. So building networks across our networks, and we leverage off of each other, and just really trying to create a place for new female business owners to be seen and get a little head start on the journey, because it could crush you otherwise. I mean, I've seen so many women fall off and fall away because this, that, the other shifted, and sometimes that's part of their journey. But most of us, we have that feeling in our heart because it comes from Holy Spirit and it won't go away. But if we try on our own, it can be a bit more daunting. So we do it together.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Oh my God. Thank you. Ladies, I don't know about you guys, but I know that this was gold. There's every other thing, there's bronze, silver. Trust me, it's actually diamond. It's actually
Diamond, new level. Oh,
yes.
thank you, Reverend Joy.
Yeah,
This was
I'm so blessed. It was like, you took us through a process, and I love it. Even when you said that your business is a playground for your spirit and your soul. That was like, that's like, and I'm telling you, this is God. Like every speaker we've had, God just uniquely placed them to give us something that's going to help us unleash this season.
That's right.
Like get a new us. And trust me, it couldn't be a better time. So we really appreciate you. And I appreciate everyone who has been on for the entire hour. And, don't go nowhere. We have the next speaker joining right now. Today, we are back to back, 6 of them for the rest of the day. So don't go nowhere. We're going to start, and I'll see you guys over with the next speaker. And we will both say, me and our coach, no, coach, I normally give the last word so that I can post it under your name. Come, give my tribe your last wisdom phrase word. Let's go.
You have to overcome yourself to become yourself. So
Ooh.
let God lead you through it. Get out of your own way, ladies. It's not up to you. What's up to you is to surrender. Get over yourself. Get out of your own way. Overcome yourself to become yourself. Let God lead you.
Jesus, overcome yourself to become yourself. Oh my God, that is powerful. I have to get the whole entire sentence, but I have this one. Overcome yourself to become yourself. Oh, Whoo, that's huge and deep. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Coach Mayor. Good to have you. And this is not your last. We are looking forward to having more of you in the house to just keep helping, the people that God has called me this season to, to grow with. They are all my business partners. They are all ministry women with me. We are just doing what God is placing in our heart to do in this season. With that, we're going to say bye-bye to everyone on Facebook. And hey, don't go nowhere. We're coming right back with the next speaker. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Okay.